O. Henry was an American essayist whose brief tales are known for mind, pleasantry, and shrewd wind endings. He composed almost 6 for mind, pleasantry, and shrewd wind endings. He composed almost 600 anecdotes about existence in America. He was conceived William Sidney Porter on September 11, 1862, in Greensboro, North Carolina. His dad, Algernon Sidney Porter, was a clinical specialist. At the point when William was 3, his mom passed on and he was raised by his grandma and auntie. He left school at 15 years old and afterward had various positions, including bank assistant. In 1896 he was blamed for theft. He departed suddenly from the law to New Orleans and later escaped to Honduras. At the point when he discovered that his better half was biting the dust, he got back to US and gave up to police. Despite the fact that there has been a lot of discussion over his genuine responsibility. He was indicted for stealing assets from the bank that utilized him. He was condemned to 5 years in prison. In 1898 he was shipped off the prison at Columbus, Ohio. While in jail he started composing brief tales to help his young girl Margaret. His originally distributed story was Whistling Dick's Christmas Stocking, 1899. He utilized an alias, Henry, just a single time and changed his name 1999. He utilized an alias, Henry, just a single time and changed his nom de plume to O. Henry, not maintaining that his peruser should realize he was in prison. He distributed 12 stories while in jail. In the wake of serving 3 years of the 5-year sentence, he was delivered for good way of behaving. He moved to New York City in 1902 and composed a story 7 days for the New York World, and furthermore for different distributors. His most memorable assortment of stories was Cabbages and Kings, 1904. The following assortment, The 4 Million, 1906, incorporated his notable stories, The Gift of the Magi, The Skylight Room, and The Green Door. One of his last stories, The Ransom of Red Chief, 1910, is maybe the most popular of his works. Among its movie transformations are Ruthless People, 1986, with Danny DeVito and Bette Midler, The Ransom of Red Chief, 1998, The Ransom of Red Chief, 1911, and Business People, 1963, otherwise known as Money Managers, by Chief Leonid Gaidai, featuring Georgy Vitsin and Yuri Nikulin. In the course of his life, O. Henry had the option to see the quiet film variations of his accounts, The Sacrifice, 1909, Trying to Get Arrested, 1909, and His Duty, 1909. His prosperity brought the orderly tension, and he experienced liquor dependence. His subsequent marriage endured 2 years, and his significant other left him in 1909. He passed on from cirrhosis of the liver, on June 5, 1910, in New York. O. Henry is credited for making of the Cisco Kid, whose character insinuates Robin Hood and Don Quixote. The Arizona Kid, 1930, and the Cisco Kid, 1931, are among the most popular variations of his works. Captured and indicted for stealing assets from the bank that utilized him, he was shipped off the prison at Columbus, Ohio to carry out a long-term punishment. He started composing his at this point renowned brief tales in jail, to assist with supporting his girl, Margaret. He was delivered following 3 years and not long after changed his pseudonym to O. Henry. However, many sources show O. Henry's genuine name as William Sidney Porter. His center name upon entering the world was really Sidney with an I. He changed the spelling of his center name to Sidney when he started working for papers during the 1880s. Watchman is said to have determined the nom de plume, O. Henry, from the name of a sweetheart's feline. His main conventional instruction was gotten at the school of his Aunt Lena, where he fostered a long-lasting affection for books. Kicked the bucket at the age of 47, a drunkard. He kicked the bucket practically destitute. Authorized as a drug specialist at 1881. He functioned as a drug specialist during his detainment for misappropriation, 1898 to 1901. In 1888, his better half brought forth an untimely child, who kicked the bucket a couple of hours after the fact. Their little girl Margaret Worth Porter was brought into the world on September 30, 1889. Second spouse Sarah Lindsay Coleman was his experience growing up darling. Functioned as a sketcher in the Texas General Land Office, Austin, and is accepted to have delineated J.W. Wilbarge's Indian depredations in Texas, 1889. Drafted into the North Carolina Literary Hall of Fame in 1996, debut class. Doorman passed on alone on June 5, 1910, age 47, at New York City's Polyclinic Hospital, where he had been determined to have kidney disappointment, cirrhosis of the liver and diabetes. Born September 11, 1862 in Greensboro, North Carolina, USA. Died June 5, 1910 in New York City, New York, USA. Birth name William Sidney Porter. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe our channel for more videos. Thanks for your time.